Let's take a look at a PAR-3. This is a Romanian rifle based on the AKM, or the modern AK47. However, it uses a pump action, which I suspect was concern for the states that have restrictions on semi-automatics having detachable box magazines, extended pistol grips, and other features. So this is a PAR-3, stands for pump action rifle, at least I suspect that's what it stands for. The 3 indicates the caliber. This one's a 5.56 or a 223. There was a PAR-1 and a PAR-2, which were 7.62 by 39 and 5.45. So this was a Romanian rifle imported at the time of the SARs, the SAR-1, the SAR-2, and the SAR-3, which I think stood for semi-auto rifle. So it was answer to demand in the market, and very high quality. We'll put the camera on put a camera down here and takes a closer look at some of the details. So these were sold in the early 2000s. Perhaps, I'm not sure how early they came onto the scene. I found this one at a gun show in Phoenix years and years ago, and it was at a price where I can never tell anybody how much I paid for this, but it was not something that I could leave at the gun show. Now, to begin with, we need to check for clear, and we'll see that the charging handle is removed on this one, which makes it kind of nice in the safe because it's not there jabbing every other gun. And to check it, you would just pull back on the pump, which we'll take a closer look here, but the pump is connected to the front of what would be the gas piston, and then that, of course, when you pull back on it, moves the carrier back, and we can check that it's empty now. So let's just take a closer look. Up front, we don't have any kind of muzzle device, no threaded barrel, I don't think. Never actually tried to unscrew this thing. It perhaps is a threaded barrel now that I look at it. There's a tack weld here, so this probably does come off, but this way the muzzle device is in no way a flash hider or a muzzle brake or anything. Then we've got no complete absence of any kind of bayonet attachment, which is why this one's not that hard to sell. We've got this little thing up here, which I believe is just for cleaning. You can unscrew it, I guess. I've never done it, but it doesn't seem like it's an adjustment, really. Then we've got a front sight that's shrouded and everything, gives us that reminiscence of a Draco, or the Romanian AIMS, really. Then, so we can see that they used a Romanian part, or at least a modified Romanian part, to help build this thing. Then where we would have the gas block, leaching some of the pressure from the round going off up into the gas tube, of course, there's complete lack of any of those holes being drilled, and instead the front of the gas piston, which would typically just be waiting for the push from the gases, is now attached to this handle, or this pump, and we can see where a couple of pins go through to keep that. And then instead of having a lower hand guard the way we normally would, that has to deal with heat the same way, because there would be a lot of heat generated here by the standard gas system. Instead, I don't think there's any heat shield in there. We can take a look. But instead, we've got this pump with a couple of slots that allow it to move. And with the same material wood, we have a different shape, which actually blends in pretty close. I mean, it does kind of give it that look of a Kalashnikov, but it gives it the operation that you'd expect from any kind of pump action gun. So coming back further, we have the rear sight. I believe it was just not completed. It looks like it was just in the process of being built, and they take it out of that process and modify it to work in this gun. Otherwise, we have our gas tube latch here. Seems to be in the same place that it would normally be. And our gas tube, of course, is modified because there's no need for wrapping your hand around here. I suppose they expect you're going to wrap your hand here, so they don't put any kind of wood or heat shielding on the top of the gas tube. It's potential that you're not going to get any heat up here as well, because again, there's nothing blowing up from the gas up into there. I suspect the front trunnion must be modified, or is it modified a little bit? Not even sure. The receiver's good to go. It's the same as a standard AKM receiver, the pistol grip, the stock. I assume all the internals are basically the same. In other words, this part of the gun doesn't know it's on a pump action rifle. So we see the typical decent wood of the SAR models and the pistol grip that we'd see. Because this one's a pump action, I don't think it would qualify under 922R, but that might be worthy of some investigation, because I don't think a pump action would qualify, but I haven't seen anyone ever mention any need to change out any parts on a pump action Kalashnikov. So we've looked at the operation a little bit. We looked at some of the parts. Really the only other thing I can think of doing with this thing would be shooting it. I think we've shot it in videos before, but for me it's always been just a specimen piece, part of the collection that it holds a place of interest, and although it's fun to shoot, there's never been any need to just pump rounds down the barrel. It's not that I'm trying to keep it in mint condition, it's just that it hasn't been used a lot, and I've never really had the need to pull it out and shoot it. I suppose we could do a video shooting the thing again to let people know what it's like, but it's really obvious. It's just a 223, so there's not much recoil and not much noise. I believe it would be an interesting choice for a trunk gun, a gun that you carry with you in the trunk of your vehicle, mainly because the pump action gives you the reliability that, I don't know, I think it almost seems like it would give you more reliability than even a Kalashnikov, because it removes some of the very limited issues that a semi-auto might have, but it also gives you some something to stand on as far as legal, because there's very few laws that go after any of the pump or bolt action guns, or lever action guns for that matter. It seems to be the semi-autos are the most sought after. So all those points being equal, I think this is an interesting collectible. I'm not sure the value on it. We'll have to do some research on that. There's not a lot of them, so not a lot of them get sold. There's not a lot of people that are looking to fill this particular piece of a collection. I suspect there might be a couple of people out there that would pay for one of these and then just shoot it up, but I kind of hate to think of that happening anymore because there are so few of them. I would like to think that some of these will get saved in a collection so that people can see some of the ridiculous nature of the regulation on property in order to appease fears of I guess crime, but also the ingenious ways that manufacturers and people who are creative came up with to oblige those laws, no matter how ill-written they were. So an interesting piece of history, and for me it's obviously in my collection because it represents some significant pieces or aspects of our firearms industry today. Let me know what you think in the comments wherever you happen to see the video, and as always, thanks for watching.